Good morning, all of you. This is for class 11, subject biology, chapter 7, structural organization in animals, and this is our lecture number 1 of this chapter. In today's lecture, we will discuss about epithelial tissues, simple epithelial tissues, and compound epithelial tissues. So, first of all, you need to know what are animal tissues. So tissue is a group of similar cells having a specific function and origin. So a group of cells which function together as a unit and have same origin make a tissue. Animal tissues are of 4 types. So these are 4 main types of animal tissues: epithelial tissues, connective tissues, muscular tissues, and neural tissues, which we will study in this chapter. In today's lecture, we are discussing about epithelial tissues. Here you can see a group of cells. So like this, a group of cell having similar function, having a similar origin and same specific function make a tissue. So let's start with epithelial tissues. So epithelial tissues in animals are of 2 types: simple epithelial tissues and compound epithelial tissues. Now what is difference? Simple epithelial tissue, which is single layered, as you can see here. This is a tissue and a single layer of cells is present here. Okay, so this is simple epithelial tissues. Second is compound epithelial tissues, which are multi-layered. Here you can see many layers of cells arranged one above the other. Okay, so this is forming compound epithelial tissue. These many layers, first layer, second layer, third, so these many layers of cells are present here, and such type of tissues are called compound epithelial tissues. Let's talk about simple epithelial tissues. So simple epithelial tissues are composed of a single layer of cells. It lines body cavities, ducts and tubes. Inside our body cavities, simple epithelial tissues are present. These also cover the ducts. Ducts like you can say blood vessels. Okay, and also the tubes which are present in our body. So all these lining are simple epithelial tissues. Based on structural modification of cells, simple epithelial tissues are of 3 types. And these 3 types of simple epithelial tissues are squamous epithelium, cuboidal epithelium, and columnar epithelium. These are 3 types of simple epithelium, or you can say simple epithelial tissue. Now we will talk about all these types of simple epithelium. So let's start with squamous epithelium first. Squamous epithelium tissue. Thin layer of flattened cells with irregular boundaries. Squamous epithelial tissue has thin layer of flattened cells, as you can see here, these flat cells. Okay, you need to make this diagram also. Here you will make these flat cells. So these are called flattened cells are present, and because these are simple epithelium tissue, so a single layer of cell you can see here. Okay, so a single layer of cells having flattened cells are present in squamous epithelium tissue, and these cells are having irregular boundaries. You can see here these boundaries are not in a regular pattern. These are irregular boundaries, right? So this is a characteristic feature of squamous epithelium, that irregular boundaries of cells are present here. Now where it is found, where this squamous epithelium tissue is found, because all the simple epithelium tissues are present in the ducts, tubes. Okay, so squamous epithelium tissue is present in walls of blood vessels, like in our arteries and veins. So on inner lining of or you can say in the wall of our arteries and veins, these squamous epithelial tissues are present, and also it is present in lung alveoli. So I hope you know about lung alveoli. You can say the balloon like structure which through which exchange of gases takes place. Okay, so lung alveoli and arteries and veins, in their walls squamous epithelial tissue is found. Here you can see this diagram of lung alveoli. Okay, in through the lung alveoli, here you can see this diffusion of oxygen and carbon dioxide. Here from the lung side, oxygen diffuses to blood capillaries. These are blood capillaries. Okay, and this is alveoli, right? This is alveoli, and in just connection of this alveoli, these are blood capillaries, right? So oxygen is diffusing from the alveoli side to the capillary side, and this carbon dioxide is diffusing from the capillary, means blood capillary, to the alveoli side. Okay, so like this, in the wall of this alveoli, squamous epithelium is present. Here you can see this squamous epithelium of alveolus. Okay, and this is squamous epithelium of capillary, because in blood vessels also squamous epithelium is present. So with the help of this diagram, it will be easier for you to remember these things, that where the squamous epithelium is present, right? Now what is function of squamous epithelium? It form a diffusion boundary. So it is clear with this diagram that the squamous epithelium is present here in the alveoli as well as here in the lining of capillary, right? So it is forming a diffusion boundary for the diffusion of gases, oxygen and carbon dioxide. So it is forming a diffusion boundary. So this is the function of squamous epithelium. Next type of epithelium is cuboidal epithelium. It is a type of simple epithelium. Okay, so in cuboidal epithelium, cube-like cells are present. Okay, so we can say it is composed of cube-like cells. As you can see here, these cube-like cells are present here. You can see the surface here. Cube-like boundaries are present here. Now where it is found, this cuboidal epithelium? It is found in ducts of glands and tubular parts of nephron. Nephron, you can say a unit of kidney. Okay, so in the nephron, in parts of nephron, and in ducts of glands. Glands which secrete different substances in our body, okay, like hormones. So it is found in those glands and also in nephrons. What is function of cuboidal epithelium? Secretion and absorption. Secretion of different substances, because it is present in glands. So glands function is to secrete, like these can secrete some hormones. Okay, so their function is of secretion and absorption also, because these are found in nephrons. So nephrons are part of kidney. Okay, where absorption of different substances occur for the formation of urine. That's why function of cuboidal epithelium is absorption also. Inside the nephron, they help in absorption of different substances and also secretion of different substances, and in glands they help in secretion. So this is secretion and absorption is their function. Epithelium of proximal convoluted tubule, that is PCT. It is a part of nephron. So that PCT part of nephron has microvilli. Here you can see this is diagram of nephron. Okay, and this is proximal convoluted tubule, this is distal convoluted tubule. These are parts of nephron. Okay, about these parts also you will study later on in chapter excretion. So here in the proximal convoluted tubule and distal convoluted tubule, in both parts these cuboidal epithelial tissues are found. Okay, And in proximal convoluted tubule of nephron, it has microvilli also, as you can see here. These are microvilli present here, and these are compound epithelial tissues, or you can say compound epithelium. Now you don't need to make this diagram, you make only this diagram here. Okay, this is diagram of cuboidal epithelium. So differentiate this diagram from the simple that is from the squamous simple epithelial tissue, and make both the diagram of the simple squamous epithelium and simple cuboidal epithelium. Okay, next type of simple epithelium is columnar epithelium. And in columnar epithelium, tall and slender cells are present. So here you can see the difference between the diagram. These are long, these are tall and slender cells present here. Okay, here also a single layer of cells is present because it is simple epithelial tissue. Okay, so a single layer of cells you can see here. This is the surface, right? So these cells you can see here, these are tall and cylinder in shape, okay, cylindrical shape. Okay, so tall and cylinder cells are present here. Their nuclei are located at the base. Here you can see at the base nuclei are present. Free surface have microvilli. So here this free surface may have microvilli. Here these microvilli are not shown. So free surface can have microvilli also in case of columnar epithelium. Where it is found? It is found in lining of stomach and intestine. That's why digestive system is shown here. Okay, and this is one microvilli, villi in the intestine. Okay, so it is found in stomach and intestine, and its function is secretion and absorption. Because it is present in stomach and also in intestine. So you know the function of stomach and intestine. In intestine, food material, digested food is absorbed. Okay, and also different enzymes are secreted there for the digestion of food in the stomach as well as in the intestine. So secretion and absorption, these two functions are performed with the help of columnar epithelium, which is present inside the stomach and intestine, right? So all those digestive juices or digestive enzymes you can say which are secreted inside the stomach and intestine, which are those are secreted with the help of columnar epithelium present inside the stomach and intestine. And also the function of absorption inside the intestine is performed with the help of columnar epithelium, right? This is a diagram of a villi, and all these cells you can see here, these cells present here, these are columnar epithelium. These are cells of columnar epithelial tissue, you can say, right? And you know villi are present inside the intestine to increase the surface area for the absorption. So inside the villi, these columnar epithelial cells are helping in absorption. So from here you need to make only this diagram. Next is modification of columnar or cuboidal cells. Columnar and cuboidal, both these cells are found in simple epithelial tissue. Both are type of simple epithelial tissue, you can say. Okay, and these can be modified. So modified columnar and cuboidal epithelial cells we will study here, right? So first first modification of these two cells, two types of cells are ciliated epithelium. Okay, sometime what happened, the columnar cells or the cuboidal cells may bear cilia on their surface, and in that case we say that the epithelium is of ciliated type. That epithelium is called ciliated epithelium. Either the columnar cells are present in it or cuboidal cells are present in it. Okay, so cells bear cilia on their surface. In the ciliated epithelium, cells bear cilia on their surface, free surface. It is present in the inner surface of hollow organs like our bronchioles and fallopian tubes. From the bronchi, the different branches arise in our respiratory system, and those branches of the bronchi make bronchioles, right? So inside our respiratory system, you can say, in the bronchioles, that ciliated epithelium is present, means cilia are present on the cells. And also in fallopian tube are a part of reproductive system in female. So in that also ciliated epithelium is found. Here you can see these are columnar cells, right? You can see these tall and cylinder cells. Okay, these are tall and cylinder cells, so these are columnar cells, and on their free surface these cilia are present. That's why we can say these are columnar ciliated epithelium. Okay, so columnar cells bearing cilia means columnar ciliated epithelium. After that, here you see these here the respiratory system is shown. Okay, and inside the respiratory system bronchioles are present here. So in the bronchioles lining, these cilia are shown here. Okay, these cilia are present in the bronchioles. Next example I gave about fallopian tubes, which is part of reproductive system in female. So this is reproductive system of female, and these two are fallopian tubes. This fallopian tube and this one is also fallopian tube. So inside this fallopian tube also the ciliated epithelium tissue are found. Okay, ciliate. Now what is the logic behind it? Like it will be easier for you to remember the things if you will see that what is the function of this cilia to be present here. Actually what happened, these cilia beat in a coordinated manner, okay, to help any particle to move, right? So ova passes through the fallopian tube in female. So when the cilia present inside the fallopian tube beat in a direction, that beating of cilia help in the movement of ova through the fallopian tube, help in the movement of ova, or you can say the transport of egg through the fallopian tube, right? That's why these cilia are present in the fallopian tube and also in the bronchioles. Now let's see what is function of ciliated epithelium: to move particles. Okay, particles like I told you here, particles like you can say the egg or ova. Okay, so these are helping in moving the particle or transporting that particle, you can say ova. Okay, so it help in to move the particles or mucus, like in case of bronchioles, that mucus is transported in our respiratory system. So to move the particles or mucus, that is function of ciliated epithelium in a specific direction over the epithelium. Now next type of modification of columnar or cuboidal cells is glandular epithelium. And these glandular for secretion, they are of two types. Glandular epithelium are of two types: unicellular glandular epithelium and multicellular glandular epithelium. In unicellular, it consists of isolated glandular cells. So only one cell will be present here. Like here you can see these isolated cells. This cell, this one and this one, these cells are isolated. So isolated glandular cells are present here. That's why it is unicellular, because only one cell is present here in a gland. Okay, and example is goblet cells of alimentary canal. That is alimentary canal, you can say our digestive system. So goblet cells are present in our digestive system, and in those goblet cells such type of glandular epithelium is found. Such type of isolated cells are seen there. Next is multicellular glandular epithelium, and it consists of cluster of cells. And for example, in our salivary glands, from where our saliva is secreted, so in our salivary glands, that cluster of cells is found, and that is called multicellular glandular epithelium, right? So here you can see This is a complete cluster of cells, all these different cells you can see here, okay, and this complete cluster of cells is formed like this to form a structure to secrete something, okay, so to secrete like saliva, because this is salivary gland. So this complete gland is formed here by a cluster of cells, and such type of gland is called multicellular gland because it is made up of cluster of cells. Based on mode of pouring of their secretions, these glands are of two types. You can say we are studying about glandular epithelium. So the glands which are formed are of two types based on their mode of pouring their secretion. First is exocrine glands. They release secretion through ducts, or you can say through tubes. Exocrine glands secrete mucus, saliva, earwax, oil, milk, digestive enzymes, etc. So all the glands which secrete these substances are exocrine glands, and all these glands release their secretion through tubes. Then endocrine glands are called ductless gland because no ducts are found here, no tubes are present here to release their secretion. They release their secretion directly in the blood, right? And they produce hormones. So all the hormone producing glands are called endocrine glands. Now here you can see epithelial cells of a sweat gland, like sweat glands which are present in your skin. So this is these are epithelial cells shown here, okay, and this is lacrimal duct. So this is shown for exocrine gland. So different types of exocrine glands are present here in this picture and in this, and here these endocrine glands are shown, the different positions of endocrine glands, like these are present here, and above the kidneys also, right? Different endocrine glands are present which produce hormone. You don't need to make all these diagrams, these are just for understanding that where the exocrine glands and endocrine glands are present. Next type of epithelium is compound epithelium. Compound epithelium is made up of multi layers of cells, many layers of cells you can say. So multi-layered cells make compound epithelium. Like here you can see these multi-layers are present here. Limited role in secretion and absorption, like we have studied about simple epithelium tissue which have a major role in secretion and absorption, but role of compound epithelial is different. It has limited role in secretion and absorption. They cover the dry surface of skin, okay, so and this is our skin. These are different layers of cells present in our skin. So upper dry surface of skin is covered by compound epithelium. Moist surface of buccal cavity is also covered by compound epithelium. Then pharynx, inner lining of ducts of salivary glands, and pancreatic ducts, all these are covered by compound epithelium. What is function of compound epithelium? It protection against chemical and mechanical stresses. So this is the main function of compound epithelium, which is different from the function of simple epithelium, which was secretion and absorption, right? But function of compound epithelium is protection. Mainly it protects us from chemical and mechanical stresses. Our different parts of our body are protected from chemical and mechanical stresses by compound epithelium. So here buccal cavity is shown, where in the moist surface of buccal cavity this compound epithelium is present. Now based on today's topics, your homework is NCERT question number 8 and A part of 9th question, and you need to make all these diagrams which we have discussed in today's lecture. Thank you.